Trophies or achievements, no matter which platform you play your games on, well, except Nintendo, they're the little JPEGs that appear after doing something notable in games, and to some people, trophies and achievements don't mean anything to them, they carry on playing their game. But to some people, hearing that trophy pop, or that achievement unlock, it unlocks something inside of them. It sends serotonin to their brain and makes them feel good. It makes them feel like they've accomplished something. It makes them want more. And so what do those people do? They go for more. They become what you call a trophy hunter or an achievement hunter, playing games that they may have little to no interest in just to feel the satisfaction of this noise. Or this noise. I think what I'm saying sounds a little crazy, but trust me, those people do exist, and I've been one of them for a while now. Primarily play most of my games on PlayStation, so I would fall under the trophy hunter mantle, and this has truly affected the way I play games for a while now. Gaming is a hobby that can take up a lot of your free time, and as we get older, the less free time we tend to have. People have full-time jobs to work, bills to pay, and houses to keep, relationships to maintain. So having a hobby like gaming, spending hours and hours, and to do something that gets you very little in return. And this is how I started to feel as I started my adult years. I was working full-time while trying to keep healthy friendships, and playing games, even though it was something that I loved doing, suddenly felt like I was wasting my time. I was spending hours of my life playing games and getting very little in return, something I would have thought very little of as a kid. But now it was becoming this existential crisis. I lost my love for gaming. I still kept up with new releases and bought brand new games that caught my attention, but it wasn't like it was before. But this didn't last all incredibly long, because 2020 happened and, yeah, you know what the deal was. The world stopped and everyone had too much time on their hands. So what did I do? I went back to gaming. I was gaming guilt-free because I knew I wasn't wasting time. Which I know gaming isn't waste of time, but try telling the pressures of society. Anyway, the game I decided to plunge into was a newly released Persona 5 Royal, an enhanced re-release of Persona 5, a game that initially took me 100 hours to beat. I was going to do it again, but I thought to myself, I have the time, I want to see everything this game has to offer, and so I took it upon myself to go for the Platinum Trophy, and that's what I did. I fully experienced Persona 5 again, getting every drop of enjoyment I could from the game. But this time, it was different. I wasn't wasting time. I was feeling accomplished. Every time I heard that noise, I felt like my time wasn't being wasted. I felt like I was doing something with my time. At the end of my 120 hours playtime, to hear this sound, I was euphoric. A little JPEG in the corner of the screen gave me so much joy, I just knew I was hooked. Don't get me wrong, I'd got platinum trophies before this, but I had not got one in years. The last one I had got was when I was still in school and I had no responsibilities to worry about. So now, getting this one as an adult suddenly gave me the justification. I wasn't wasting my time, I'm getting a lot out of something and I have something to show for it. So that was it for me, I was off. My love for gaming had well and truly had returned, and after a couple of years of going out partying with friends at the weekend, going on weekends away and being, somewhat social, I went back to being the reclusive introvert that I always had been, and I couldn't have been happier. This remained the case well after the lockdown was lifted, because I was just having so much fun playing games because I was now a trophy hunter. It gave me the excuse to go back to some of my old favourites and try and get everything I could out of them. And that's just one of the beauties of trophy hunting. Going back to games you already had a blast in the first time round, you can now experience things that you didn't get to do the first time round. Games such as Ni no Kuni 2 and Neo The World Ends With You were some of my favourite JRPGs that I adored the first time I played them, and I was able to go back and clean up the trophies and have just as much fun as I did the first time round, if not more the second time. Another perfect example of this is my experience with Dark Souls, a game that when I first played, I really enjoyed, but perhaps didn't appreciate like I do now, as experience everything from the game has to offer, shows how masterful From Software are to get all the trophies for Dark Souls. You need to play the game a minimum of 3 times, collecting all the spells, pyromancies, miracles and weapons. This is quite challenging and made me experience everything Lordran has to offer, something I probably would have never done if I wasn't a trophy hunter. But this has also changed how I play games in a more negative way I found, and I tend to be tackling it more recently. Games are, and have always been, a hobby to me, something I enjoy doing in my spare time, and although trophy hunting is fun to do, there's now that part of me that feels if a game doesn't have trophies, am I wasting my time? Silly, right? But for a couple of years now, I found myself playing games only on my PlayStation, and not playing them on something like the Switch, and that's not due to the lack of the great games to play on the Switch, but I just tend to gravitate towards playing on my PlayStation, and I know why this is, and I don't like it. I have always been a Nintendo fanboy. The Legend of Zelda is my favourite franchise in all of gaming and means more to me than the majority of my family. So why does my brain think that even though I'm playing something that I love, it makes me feel like I'm wasting my time? Because the game isn't telling me that I did something good. I hate this. It's what my trophy hunter brain has done to me. Gaming is something I love doing. It should never feel like a chore or something not worth doing. There's another new form problem I seem to have developed from trophy hunting, and it's the inability to move on. I need that satisfaction of 100% in a game's trophies. I recently finished the new Prince of Persia game and I had a great time. It was fun, it was challenging, and the Platinum Trophy was pretty straightforward, up until it wasn't. One of the trophies required me to collect all the amulets, pretty simple and coincided with all the other game's trophies. But when I thought I'd collected the last one, no trophy popped. So I had a look at what I missed, and it was nothing. So the trophy had glitched, and this is always heartbreaking for a trophy hunter, but it does happen. Just move past it and move on, right? Well, I wish I could. Seeing my trophies at 91%, knowing I only had one trophy, bothered me even now. Every time I look at the list, it bothers me to the point I'm ready to drop everything and go back and play the whole game again just for a singular trophy, just to hear that noise and see that number go up. Yeah, I know this is a problem and not a healthy way to enjoy gaming. Trophy hunting has truly changed how I play games. Do you know what the first thing I do before I even play most games? I make my way to PSN profiles and see if the game has a trophy guide, how hard it's going to be and how long it's going to take me. And sometimes this has put me off from playing games altogether. I mean, the Yakuza games look fantastic and seem right up my alley, but 70 hours to platinum just the first game in the series with over 8 mainline entries. I'm afraid I'll just never have the time to experience them. So overall, I think trophy hunting does have its upsides for me and how I play games, but it also comes with downsides as well. But I'm determined to have a better mindset. Gaming is something that I love. It's never a waste of time if it's making me happy. And it doesn't matter what platform I play on, as long as I'm having fun, that's all that matters. Yeah, trophy hunting will give me the excuse to go back to my favourite games and grab all their trophies. And yes, that noise is something I don't think I'll ever get tired of. I just won't let it have a stranglehold on me like it has been. I can leave a game's trophy list at 90% done, and it's okay to move on. And just enjoy games.